So hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Nat Fashion Hub, the best fashion channel in the world. Alright, so today we're going to learn how to cut a packet shirt. I did a video the last time how to cut a packet shirt, and I had one or two complaints that my head was covering the camera. Alright, so for those that couldn't get everything from that video, you're welcome to watch this one. If you are watching for the first time, please subscribe and welcome to the channel. Alright, so let's go ahead and cut our packet shirt. So first I'm going to draft the pattern. When I'm done drafting the pattern, we'll carry the pattern and place on this material and we'll cut our shirt. So let's go. So first of all, the first thing we're going to do is for us to consider the measurements. Okay, the measurement to be using is a shoulder measurement of 19, chest 44. All right, the full length is 28. Okay, basically that's that. Fitting is 42, but you can either use it from the chest measurement. So first let's identify what the shoulder line. All right, so this is our beginning point here where we start our measurement is here. All right, and so from here our shoulder is, we are going to, before getting the shoulder, let us first of all get the button allowance. All right, and our button allowance, we are going to mark 2.5 inches from the beginning here to locate our button allowance. This is 2.5 inches. All right, 2.5 inches. Okay, 2.5 inches to locate our button allowance. So this is our button allowance right here. Okay, this is for what? This is our button allowance. It's our button allowance. All right. So the next thing we're going to do now is to get the shoulder measurement, and shoulder measurement is 19. You divide it by 2, that will be 9.5. So this is what, 9.5. All right. So let's mark this 9.5 here. All right. So we're going to come down here by 3 inches. Can you see that? 3 inches. All right. If we were using this, if it were like somewhere like here, we would have used 4 inches. But here, this is where our shoulder stops, so we'll use 3 inches. I'm showing that because from the last video, I think I did something like that, so that people will not be confused why I use 4 there and I'm using 3 here. So the next thing we're going to do, let's just extend it. Let's extend it. All right, that way. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to get the size of this shirt. All right, the wideness we said is 44. Divide 44 by, when you're cutting, divide chest measurement by 4. Divide 44 by 4, you will have what? 11. And this is what, 11. All right, and we are going to add 1 inch allowance. Okay, 1 inch allowance, or even half inches, or even half inch, but let's just use 1 inch, so that is 12. All right, so let's mark this 12 in like 3 places so that we can join the lines together. So let's join this point together. All right, the next thing for us to get, this is my marker, I left it open so it's fainting. All right, I'll not leave it open again. The next thing for us to get is the length of this shirt. All right, so this is what I was saying. You see, if I measure here, you see I'm having about 4, so that in the other video I use something like 4, so don't be confused. I'm measuring on this shoulder line, that was why I used 3 here. So the next thing I'm going to do is to get the length of this shirt, and the length simply will measure from the center of this. All right, but this block, the center point, will not measure here, we measure somewhere here at the center. All right, so we see the length is what? Is 28. This is a length of what? Of 28. All right, we didn't give any hemming allowance, but I'll show you why. Okay, this is a length of 28. So let's join this point to this point. All right. You see that? So the next thing we're going to do is to, this is it. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is to remove this block. All right. So we'll remove it. So we'll place this here and we'll pin it. Okay. So we are going to pin it. Alright, so I'll go ahead and remove this. Alright, so for us to go ahead and do this drafting, look at the way I place this. This is button allowance. So when you are placing this front block on to produce a back block, you ensure that this back, can you see, this back is starting from, this back piece is starting from this line here. Alright, starting from this line here, can you see, starting from this line. Alright, it shouldn't go beyond it, to start from the line. Okay, now look at what I'll do now. I'll slant this place here. Alright, after slanting it, I will push this down. I'll bring this down, leaving an allowance of 4 inches up here. 4 inches up here. Can you see? It's a bit more than 4. Leaving an allowance of 4 inches up here. Can you see this? 4 inches. And ensure that it is still okay. The measurement is something on this line here. Very important. Very, very important. You cannot make that mistake. Alright. So once you're sure that it's placed correctly, you fold this 4 inches here below. Alright, let it overlap the front piece by about half an inch. Okay, I've done this. Alright. Now, I was telling us that I'll show us why I cut this length exactly at what, 27. If we measure this length now, you're having what, 30. Why? Because there is 2 inches that came from the front. Very important. So now let us quickly shape this shirt and cut it. Alright. So how are we going to shape this shirt? First, we said our chest, how do we look at our arm? Arm measurement is simply shoulder divide by 2. So if we divide shoulder 19 divided by 2, you have 9.5. Okay, so this is 9.5. But we will not use this 9.5 complete. We minus 1.5 inch from it. That becomes 8. And I'll show you why we minus 1.5 inch. That becomes what? 8. So this is 8. Alright, 9.5. We minus 1.5 becomes 8. So the next thing is for us to take our what? Chest measurement. The chest is 44. That is what? That is 11. This is 11 here, plus half inch for seam allowance. That becomes 11.5. Alright. The next thing for us to do is to do what? To extend this shoulder line here. This shoulder line. Okay, let's push it down. Let's push it down. Alright. Then we'll come up from this shoulder, from this arm length here, will come up at about 2 inches. All right. Then we'll come in by what? 1 inch. All right. We came up 2 inches. We came in by 1 inch. All right. So we're going to curve this curve to this point here. This curve right to this point here, and we'll curve it back to the shoulder. Let me extend the shoulder line so that you see it. This is our shoulder line. All right, so you can see it. So we curve this back to the what? Back to the shoulder. I'll use my chalk here. Can you see that? Now, let me show us why I minus 1.5 inches instead of using 9.5. Our arm is what? 9.5. Watch this now. What do we have here? We have 10 inches. Can you see that? So imagine we had used this 9.5. We would have been having something like 11.5, which is too long. Alright? That is why I normally minus 1.5. Let us move quickly. So the next thing for us to do is to what? To give this shirt fitting. Okay? And how do we give this shirt fitting? We are simply going to come here. We are going to come up by what? By 2 inches, or let's say 2.5. This actually depends on how curvy you want your shirt to be. It can be 2.5, it can be 2. It depends on how curvy you want your shirt to be. So look at what I'll do. I'll do this like this. Can you see this? And I'll come this way. I'll finish up like this. Can you see? I've curved my shirt down. Can you see that? The next thing for us to do is what? We said our chest measurement is what? Is 11. So this is 11, okay? Alright. We still add ½ inch for seam allowance. Alright. So we'll join this line here to this one. Alright. So to give our shirt fitting, we'll measure the center point here, this point to this point. Find the center point, alright? The center point, right? Okay, mark it here. Then come in by what? ½ inch. Once you come in by ½ inch, you join this point to this point here. And this point to this point here. And we are done with the fitting of this shirt. Alright. The next thing for us was to get the neck. The formula for neck is simply the neck divided by what? The neck size divided by 4. Alright, that is how to get the depth. So if we divide the neck of this shirt is 17, alright. Divide 17 by 4, you will be having 4 point something. 17 by 4. We're having 4 1/4, alright? So look at it here. This is 4 1/4. For the wideness, alright, you divide this 4 1/4 by 2. So that will be 2.1, alright? That's how to get your neck size, okay? So this simply means we are curving this here to this here, alright? And then we are curving it back to the top here. You see? So this is how to get your neck size, alright? And you can just bring this, curve it up here like this. Instead of bringing it straight, and just curve it up here a little, alright? So that's how to get the neck, alright? And let me show us, if you can measure this, we're looking for 17, that's 8.5. If you can measure this carefully, you should be having 8.5. Can you see? So that's 17, alright? So let me show us how we'll cut the neck. Cutting the neck, have to be very careful not to cut together with the back piece. As you can see how I lifted the front piece, so that I will not cut together with the back. Oh, very, very important. And I'll still show us something here on the neck. Can you see? So I'll cut this way. I'll open it this way and I'll cut like this. Can you see this? Let me put this under so that you can see. Can you see this? Can you see how curved it is? The next thing, this is how we'll cut the shoulder, right? Cut it this way. I'm going to cut a little bit off this line. I'll show us why. Off this line. Alright. Then I'll come back and cut just the front piece on this line, so that the back and the front will have a difference of ½ inch, the depth of the curve. Can you see? You see, it is very intentional. Very, very intentional with this. Alright. The next thing is to do to cut this. Alright. I'm cutting and leaving the line so that you can see it very well. Alright. So come down here and we'll still cut it. Let me cut the front first, okay? Then I'll cut the back. Alright. The back, let me allow it to be like ½ inch longer. Alright. Alright guys, so as you can see, we are done cutting this shirt. If this video made sense to you, I would appreciate if you can hit the subscribe button, turn your notification bell on, so that whenever I drop my videos, you'll be the first to be notified. Thanks for watching. Welcome to Nat Fashion Hub, the best fashion channel in the world. Thank you.